It's been a little bit of time since we've been in this position. Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel. Happy Valentine's Day to every single person watching this video. I'm sure the majority of you watching are Chelsea fans, and on the 13th of February, so ever so slightly premature, we're not going to get into too many Valentine's Day jokes around that kind of word today, but ever so slightly prematurely, Chelsea have announced that we have made a signing. I mean, it would have been like a little bit nicer if it was 13 days ago, but we're going to go into probably the whys, the ifs, the buts, and the maybes. Hakim Ziyech from Ajax is going to be a Chelsea player from July the 1st, 2020 for a fee that is ever so slightly mind-blowing in 2020. It's almost as if if this was 10 years ago, this probably still would have been considered a relatively good deal. A fee that will rise to £36 million. In this current market, that is an astronomically cheap sum of money for a player of Ziyech's quality, for a player who has been playing at the level that Hakim Ziyech has been playing at for the last few seasons, and he's a player that brings some versatility to Chelsea. And we're going to take a look today at his attributes, going to take a look at where he could fit into the team, what does it mean for other transfer targets that we've been heavily linked with, and what does it mean for current existing players as well. But anyway, throw the flipping pillows out of the way. This is brilliant news. Frank Lampard's first signing is the Moroccan. He's 26 years old. There is this beautiful image of Chelsea's African signings of the Abramovich era and before. Ziyech is just another one to add to that list. And I think he's one of those players who will bring so much energy to this Chelsea side. And for the first time since probably Iron Robben, we're going to have a left-footed player who's able to play on the right and cut inside. There is this monstrous goal that he scored for Ajax this season against Valencia. And he also scored similar goals, or well, it didn't actually go down as his goal, but we saw similar moments of magic at Stamford Bridge this season during the Chelsea 4, Ajax 4 draw, and this was my reaction to that.
Unbelievable ball in from Ziyech. Hakim Ziyech's left foot, bloody hell. Ziyech's done it again.
I also did a video where I did like a comparison of Wilfried Zaha, Sancho and Hakim Ziyech, and at the time, Jadon Sancho was the marquee name that I really wanted to go for. Sancho he's an aspirational signing for Chelsea that is kind of, the price tag would be a club record, it would be a Premier League record, it would be something that would be astronomical, that would take a hell of a long time, and probably throughout a lot of competition as well, for Chelsea to be able to pull that off. Whereas Ziyech, we always knew that he was going to be a cheaper option, but it doesn't necessarily mean that there isn't the same abundance of talent and quality that he could bring to the Chelsea side as a Jadon Sancho signing would be. We know that with Marina Granovskaya, Chelsea are in wonderful positions to negotiate very good deals for very good players. If you look at the fact that Atletico Madrid will be paying us 55 million for Alvaro Morata come the summer, buying Ziyech for 33 to 36 million, it looks like the biggest no-brainer in the history of football, and it is, quite frankly. This is a massive coup for Chelsea, and even if we just take a look at the money that we didn't spend in January, the money that we didn't spend last summer, add on to that the money that was brought in for Eden Hazard, you've got that Morata money that's coming in the summer, you look at Ziyech, who's a player who can play on either the right-hand side, if you want him to, he can play on the left, but we're probably not going to see him play there, or he can play in the middle, in the number 10 central attacking midfield role. What we see with Ziyech is a player that is coming into the prime years of his career. He's a player that we're not talking about potential, we're talking about a ready-made talent who's performing on the biggest stage. He's had a brilliant last 12 months for Ajax in the Champions League. Yes, they didn't quite go through, because we did, which is absolutely wonderful, and that's fine. But he's a player that excites me, and he's a player that, now that he's actually a Chelsea player, officially, even though he doesn't join until July, he's a player that is going to bring a lot to this Chelsea team. So, where is he going to play? If we take a look at the players we've got now, the left-hand side is something that we're predominantly looking at either Hudson-Odoi or Christian Pulisic for that left-hand side role. You look in the middle, you've got Mason Mount, who's been playing there a fair bit this season. You've also got the potential of Ruben Loftus-Cheek coming back from injury and playing in more of an attacking midfield role. You could also stick Ziyech in there. You could also probably stick Pulisic in the middle as well. You're starting to see here that there's a lot of options coming in at Chelsea, whereas the right-hand side, you've got Willian and Pedro, the predominant players on the right. You've also got the likelihood of neither of them playing in a Chelsea shirt come July next season. Come the start of next season, I don't think either Willian or Pedro will become Chelsea players. Now, if Willian does sign a contract extension, then we can end all talks of Jadon Sancho. If Willian now stays at Chelsea, now that we've confirmed the signing of Hakim Ziyech, if he signs a new extension, we will not be signing Jadon Sancho. It would make absolutely no sense whatsoever to have signed Ziyech, to have Hudson-Odoi, Pulisic, Mount, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, all of these players, unless we're looking to sell 2 of those, which I don't think we will be, considering Hudson-Odoi signed a new deal, Mount signed a new deal, Ruben signed a new deal, Pulisic signed a long-term deal, none of that makes any sense. So with Willian and Pedro, it's very much looking now as if both of them are going to be moving on in the summer. Does this mean, if we take a look at those 5 attacking midfield players, is there still going to be space for a Jadon Sancho, or some people are even saying maybe a Jeremy Boga from Sassuolo? We've got the buyback clause, so we can go in for him again for what would be a ridiculously cheap sum of money for a player who's playing at the top of his game at the moment, considering, well, we say the top of his game, he's still very young, we're still talking about potential, but he's having a very, very good season in Serie A. So people are saying like, Chelsea could still go in for Jadon Sancho. If we look at both Willian and Pedro leaving, that would certainly still seem as though there is a space for Jadon Sancho in this team. Whether he would want to come in, well, I think Sancho would come in and probably be one of the first names on the attacking team sheet, but whether Ziyech has come in with any guarantees of you will be playing in this position, this will be your role, you're going to be taking over from Willian, that is your position for the foreseeable future at Chelsea, we don't know what's been said behind the scenes. We don't know whether or not Chelsea are even going to bother going in for Jadon Sancho in the transfer window. He's a London boy. It does make sense. We know that he had boyhood ties to Chelsea. In terms of like this fairy tale Valentine's Day dream scenario signing, Jadon Sancho is still very much that guy for Chelsea, despite the signing of Hakim Ziyech. So it does make things slightly less probable if we're looking at it in terms of like, well, are Chelsea going to be as keen on Sancho now that they've got Ziyech for such a cheap amount of money? But I don't think it closes the door on the move entirely. There's links still to Liverpool. Manchester United are heavily linked. I think any big club in Europe who's got the ability to splash out at least 100 million quid, everyone's going to be wanting the signature of Jadon Sancho. His stats this season are phenomenal. But if we take a look at Ziyech's goal scoring and assisting stats for Ajax, yes, the league isn't as competitive as the Bundesliga, but we've seen him do it in the Champions League. He plays some magic football at times, and even the Ajax social media account, which fair play, they've not had the best of times with Chelsea recently, but they still had the class, which is something I very much admire about Ajax Football Club. They still had the class to put out a little tweet saying, believe in the magic and things will happen. And I certainly feel as though, when we look at what Arsenal spent on Nicola flipping Pepe, 72 million for him, half the price of that, we have got a player who is already playing at a level better than what Pepe's ever done. I hate to always bring this back to a rival club, but I just feel as though this is such a brilliant piece of business for Chelsea in every single sense of the imagination. Whether he is bought in so that we don't go for Jadon Sancho and maybe we go for Jeremy Boga and then we've got more options and we've still got loads of money to invest in maybe a new goalkeeper, which we'll talk about in another video, centre-backs, which we know we need, left-backs as well. I just think that this Ziyech signing, for the price in which we've got him, it doesn't dent the bank. It doesn't really affect Chelsea's ability to go and spend massive money on other potential prospects as well. This could be a huge signing for Chelsea. And I think when we're talking about players that were some of the bargain deals of the summer, getting this business done early, it kind of has the same kind of ring as when we bought in Diego Costa, we bought in Fabregas. And then all of a sudden, things just clicked into place. I don't think the Premier League is as open now as it was then, and obviously Liverpool are a class above the rest, and we can't disrespect that. It's going to take a hell of a lot to overturn Liverpool anytime over the next few years. But what Chelsea are looking to do is, by making a signing like Ziyech, we are putting out a statement to say, we're going for that top 4 this season. We want to be in the Champions League next season. We're in a feasible position to think we will be right now because of the points difference, because of the fact we're actually sat in the top 4. Aspirational signings like this, not only does it show where the club want to take Chelsea, they want to back Frank Lampard, they do want to give the money, even though it didn't happen in January, we knew there was going to be something going on behind the scenes. This is exactly what that was. Personal terms have been agreed. This isn't speculation anymore. Ziyech will be a Chelsea player from the start of next season. He's going to either come into that number 10 or he can play on the wing. He brings versatility, he brings flair, and he brings a bit of magic, which is something that we've been missing ever since we lost Eden Hazard. And I always knew that it would come back to that at some point during this video, but I'm flipping excited. It's Valentine's Day. It's freezing in London. I've been used to like 40 degrees for the past few days, and then coming back today and it's like, bloody hell, Storm Dennis is around the corner. Had my mum call me last weekend and she's like, I needed to tell you, Storm Kira has blown my fence down. Well, Storm Dennis is around the corner. We've got Manchester United on Monday night. It's my granddad's funeral Monday, so I'm not going to be going to the game, but I will be making content around the game at some point. So 6 Things We Learned will be out on Tuesday. Massive game for Chelsea, but this signing has boosted me up. It's boosted everyone else up around the club. Everyone's going mad about it on social media. And even rival fans as well, I think are going to be a little bit worried about a calibre of signing such as Ziyech and the fact that Chelsea will still be spending big in the summer to back Frank Lampard to see what we can build for the future. Very exciting times indeed. What a signing, what a player. Cannot wait to see him in a Chelsea shirt. Let me know your thoughts on where you think he's going to play. Where do you think he's going to fit in? Let me know in the comments down below. Whatever you're doing on Valentine's Day, enjoy yourselves. If you're going out and having a couple of beers, don't feel too sorry for yourself if you go home lonely. And also don't feel too sorry for yourself if you're feeling lonely right now. It is okay, it's just another day of the year. You should love people every day of the year, not just because it's Valentine's Day. That is my little tip to all of you, if you've managed to last this long. Hit the like button on the video, subscribe to the George Benson Football channel if you're new around here and haven't already. See you later. Bye-bye.